Quasi here, and in this video I want to share with you how you can attract your specific partner and really what the biggest problem is and the three biggest concepts you must understand in order to get to a place where you no longer are needy for this person, but you get to a place of pure attractiveness. I really want to share this with you because these concepts will not just only help you attract a specific partner, but actually attract anyone, because these are the core principles that I've found of attractiveness that has really worked. So I want you to stick around to the very end of this video, because what I'm going to share with you is the three problems, the three biggest problems most go through, why they're unable to attract their specific partner and end up repelling them, and the three solutions to these corresponding problems. So with that, let's get started. Now, in the quest of attracting this specific partner, the gravest mistake I see most people making is that they always put this person on a pedestal. So you're unable to attract your specific person because you put them on a pedestal. What does that mean in simple words? It's like you always look at this person as above you, higher than you. You know, you look up to this person. If you look up to a person, they have no choice but to look down at you. So think about the sort of frames that there are in a celebrity-fan relationship. The fan looks up to the celebrity has no choice but to look down on the fan, right? So just like that, I don't think celebrities like being looked up to. Maybe most do, but there are a lot of them who just don't want to be greeted by fans because they look at it as an energy drain, right? So this creates what we call a pressure drop. If you put someone up here and you're down here, there's a pressure drop of value which the person in the lower end is leeching off of from the person above, which naturally repels the person above away from the person who's below them. I hope that makes sense. So in the case of this celebrity-fan relationship, the fan drives the celebrity away because they keep leeching value like a parasite from the celebrity. So just like that, when you put your specific person on a pedestal, you become their puppet. Right? Though they know they can control you on a string, so they lose interest in you. You know, people aren't attracted to people who they can control. People are attracted to people who invoke a curiosity in them, who help them feel some sort of adventure, and in general, people just who have their own worlds and their own lives. Okay, so this is going to relate to point number 3 in the video that I'm going to discuss, which is the concept of attractiveness. Okay, so let's really get down straight to the concepts and understanding why you're not able to attract your specific partner and what you can do about it, right? So the three biggest problems most people face in attracting their specific partners, problem number 1 is a concept I like to call excessive potential, which we discussed a little bit, okay? Excessive potential. I'm gonna state the concept and then I'm going to explain what this means. So this will be helpful for you. Essentially, what excessive potential means is you are creating an imbalance in this world, okay? In the field of nature. If you can imagine space has a field, it has a homogeneous field. Homogeneous means nothing is disturbed. Everything is just constant, everything is equally balanced out. So if you had a piece of paper and on that piece of paper there were just lines, right? And all the lines were spaced equally. But then on one part, one area, okay, the lines are actually bunched up closer together compared to the other ones. This creates an imbalance. So that's basically what happens when you put a person on a pedestal. You create those bunched up lines that are now closer together. I'm gonna represent this. So let's say we have these lines and they're equal, but then you come up here, now they become closely bunched together. This is what happens to the field of nature, to this esoteric field of nature, that now becomes imbalanced because now your thought energy is putting too much importance on this person. So when you put too much importance on one person, put them on a pedestal to one thing in your life, even your goal, you know, let's say you have a goal of making $1 million and you put too much importance on that. Maybe you're expecting something, maybe you're expecting to meet someone and you put too much importance on that. When you do that, this phenomenon happens. Your thought energy to the field of nature creates this phenomenon of the bunched up lines. And when this happens, now nature has no choice but to come in and balance out this inhomogeneity, okay? Nature likes things homogeneous, not inhomogeneous. So this creates heterogeneity. I'm not going to pronounce that because I don't know how to say that. I'm going to say inhomogeneous. But essentially, when that happens, nature wants to create this balance and restore this balance. How does nature restore this balance? Just by taking this person further and further away from you. So what you've got to understand is nature will always take the path of least resistance to create balance in anything. If you want to achieve your goals, the best way to achieve your goals is by taking the path of least resistance. What the path of least resistance means is if there is path A and path B, path A exerts maybe 2 units of energy, path B exerts 4 units of energy, nature is going to take path A. Now you might be wondering, Quasi, this is all great and fancy and all, how does this relate to specific person manifestation? This is how. So when you put too much importance on a specific person, okay, please follow me here. When you put too much importance and you keep thinking about your specific person, you keep texting your specific person, and you keep wanting to manifest a text back from your specific person, what essentially happens is now your thought energy is too concentrated on the specific person. Too much importance is built up. Now, what happens is if the other person, more likely than not, doesn't feel this way about you, what nature will do is take this person further and further away from you. They're going to repel this person more and more. Because this is the easier thing for nature to do, as opposed to taking path B and exerting 4 units of energy and getting this person attracted to you. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. It's easier for nature to take this person away from you than actually change their minds about you and get them to be attracted to you. Okay? So that's why when you put too much importance on a person, it actually repels them further and further away. Right? So this is the concept of excessive potential and what happens when you put your specific person on a pedestal. The whole concept of a specific person literally entails excessive potential because there shouldn't be a specific person. You should be open to receiving anyone, right? So now let's actually get to that solution of what you can do if you have too much importance and you keep thinking about your specific person all the time. The biggest solution, and the one that I've always recommended and the one that's always worked for people, is to just remove this person from a pedestal, okay? How do you remove this person? You might be wondering, well, Quasi, I don't know how to do it. The same way you move your hand, move your arm. It's kind of like you think about this person and you start to realize that, wait a second, this person isn't as special as I thought they were. This person doesn't have anything special. They're just as special as anyone else. Comparatively, compared to anyone else, this person is also a human being. Maybe I have special feelings for this person and that's temporary. Let me allow that. Instead of resisting these feelings, just allow them. Allow them to be. That's a beautiful thing. You have feelings towards a person, allow them to be. When you put too much importance even on the feelings that you have towards this person, that even becomes a problem. So whatever is right now, just allow it to be and just realize, wait a second, this person doesn't have anything special compared to anyone else. There's no need to put this person on a pedestal. When this realization happens, now this person is no longer up on that pedestal, but they come down and you start to see their true value. And now the attraction process can be natural and you can communicate with them just like a normal human being. You know, if you communicate, because what happens when you put too much importance on a person, another thing that happens is you start to look up to them, and in your communication with them, you kind of look up to them. And if you look up to someone, they have no choice but to look down upon you, right? So that's how you remove this excessive potential, by realizing someone's true value. On top of that, what happens is you insist on getting this specific person and you will settle for nothing else. You're like, I need this. I need to have this. But ask yourself this. What if this person wasn't meant to be? What if there's someone much better for you? Would you be open to receiving that? Would you rather have a really, really fulfilling relationship with someone who hasn't come into your experience yet? Or do you want to insist on this specific person and this, I need this, even though it might be the worst toxic relationship ever? Investigate your motivation behind wanting this specific person. Your motivation behind wanting this specific person is the very thing that's repelling this person from your experience. Once you can investigate that, relinquish that, you're going to see how this specific person just comes into your life naturally. Once you let go, then they come in. Okay? So that's number one and problem number one. Problem number two, what we create unconsciously is this concept of a dependent relationship. Okay, I'm going to explain what that means. A dependent relationship is when your actions are dependent on someone else's behavior. For example, I like you because you're like this. I'm nice to you because you're good. I'm not nice to you because you're bad. So now your behavior becomes dependent on this person. Instead of it being organic and uninfluenced by externals, now it becomes dependent on external things. When that happens, when your like for your specific person, or even maybe someone you're in a relationship with right now, this creates a polarity. This is why people always attract people that they're not really compatible with in the first place. You know, they keep attracting toxic relationship after toxic relationship. They keep attracting people who treat them like shit all the time. And, you know, they keep staying stuck in these relationships, these abusive relationships, and it's not really serving them. This happens because of these dependent relationships. I like you because of this. Okay, the solution to this is unconditional love. How you approach and come from a place of unconditional love is when you become good within yourself. Okay, you keep attracting toxic relationships and abusive relationships, and you can't get your specific partner because there's a void within you that you're trying to fill with this person. But the person doesn't fill the void. The person just gives the illusion of the void being filled. It's kind of like achieving a goal, and then you're like, oh shit, I just achieved my goal. What next? Well, that wasn't what I thought it to be. Well, I built it up to be much more in my mind than it actually is. Right? So it's kind of like when I hit that first 100K a month in my business. When I did, I was like, oh shit, that's it? What's next? So it's this void that I was trying to fill. Until I addressed that void, I couldn't consistently stay at that 100K a month. You know, I would have a lot of hiccups, and, you know, there would be just a lot of suffering in this journey. It just wouldn't be me resting and allowing myself to experience this. Okay? So just like that with your specific partner, when you get into the, you know, dependent relationship realm, what happens is you start to become dependent on their behaviors, and this creates this polarity and establishes this polarity, and two people who weren't right for each other in the first place, for some reason, now they start to stay together. Now I want you to investigate this. The solution to dependent relationships is, first of all, understanding and feeling complete within yourself. Don't be quick to jump into a relationship. Don't be quick to, you know, do something because you feel lack within. Don't be driven by this lack, because your actions coming from a place of lack is going to propagate this lack. Your actions coming from a place of completeness and wholeness is going to propagate this wholeness and completeness. So the solution is investigate this lack. So I invite you to do this. Think about a time when you really manifested something and kept it, you achieved a goal, and, you know, you felt really at peace with it. And what you felt then. Chances are it's because you felt complete and you completely let go of that thing you've been wanting for so long that it actually came about in your life. Anytime we organically bring things into our lives and we're able to keep them, it's because we've felt complete first, and we stopped believing that that thing was actually going to complete us. So right now, chances are you think that that specific person is going to complete you. Now, if you believe that, I invite you to investigate that void in the first place. Why do I need this person to complete me? Can I be good enough on my own? Why not? What's going on? What is this I feel? What is this incompleteness I feel? Am I willing to let that incompleteness be? Am I willing to let this go? When? I actually made a video about how to let go of these feelings of incompleteness and master your emotions. Click up here to check that out. It's the surrender process, the 4-step surrender process. But you've really just got to relinquish these feelings, because you're holding on to this feeling of incompleteness because it allows you to get gratification and chase those things in the material world. So you think that you've got to be incomplete in order to go out there and get stuff. Just like people think that I've got to suffer in order to achieve my goals. This is what they want you to believe. All of these, you know, things around you, societal conditioning, it wants you to believe that so that they can keep you in this lower consciousness state. But it's not necessarily true. You can be peaceful and still achieve your goals. You're achieving your goals, having more money isn't going to make you feel better. You feel better first, and then more money comes in as a tool to continue on your good feeling, your peaceful feeling inside. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So investigate this feeling of lack that you feel within. Don't ever jump into a relationship from a feeling of lack. That's the worst thing you can do. If you've just gotten out of a relationship right now and you've seen the same cycle has been happening over and over again, I ask you to do this investigation process. Feel complete before you go into a relationship. Make the choice to go into a relationship, not a jump into another relationship. Okay? Hope that helps. That's number 2. Number 3, and this is probably one of the biggest ones, is attractiveness, understanding the concept of attractiveness. Okay? This is kind of how I attracted my wife into my life. Now, what I want you to know is that my wife wasn't my specific person. She wasn't. I just wanted to meet someone to have in my life, to continue this feeling of wholeness, to share something with. And I always visualize myself at my final destination with this, sort of faceless figure. I kind of define the characteristics. She's blonde, she has this kind of personality, she's this way. Just very vague details. That she makes me feel this way. And then she came about in my life. Now, when she came about in my life, I was actually pretty good. I didn't really need to be in a relationship, but it just sort of organically happened again. And one day I got on the train while I was in college, and there she was. And I just had to go up to her and talk to her. And then like 8 months later, we got married, right? So that happened not because I was in a needy frame. That happened not because I was focused on her. That happened because I was focused on myself. Now, this is what brings me to this concept of attractiveness. People are attracted to you because you are going your own path. Okay, you have this charm about you because you're going your own path and you have your own goals in life and you don't listen and fall into traps, the societal traps, right? You don't do the do as I do and follow the herd mentality, but you genuinely just know what you want for yourself and you just put one foot in front of the other and go towards it. You just don't listen to what others are saying. It's not that you reject what others are saying. You listen to them, but then you make your own judgments. You collect data, but the processing you do organically of your own, and then you apply it on your own based on what you think you need to do at this stage in your life, okay? So your reasoning process isn't by analogy, but it's actually through first principles. I actually made a video about this, by the way. Click up here to check that out. This is why a lot of people don't get clarity in their lives of what they truly want, because they never even ask the question. Like, have you ever asked yourself, what do I really want? No. Do I really want to be a CEO of this company and work this many hours? What does my life look like? If I had achieved everything that I wanted, what would life look like? What would a day in this life look like? What would an evening in this life look like? So you need to get clear about all of those things. What do you want to create for yourself in 5, 10, 20 years from now? Play around with that. Create a vision. Don't be moved by purpose and this idea that you think of purpose. Be moved by your vision. This is what I want. I'm just moving towards that. Don't be ashamed of it. If you want to, live a hedonistic lifestyle, go for it. If you want to help people, go for it. Don't lie to yourself and say, I should want to help people. I should want to do that. If it doesn't come organically, don't force it. It's as simple as that. Don't judge whatever it is you want. Let yourself want it. Let it be there. Okay? So this is the concept of attractiveness. People are attracted to other people who actually have their own worlds and are going about their own mission and their own vision. Not someone who falls into someone else's frame. So again, this is the concept of the celebrity and the fan. The fan is in the celebrity's frame, right? The fan is in the celebrity's world. Oh, whatever you say, celebrity, I'll do. Oh, whatever you say, specific person, I'll do. I'll be a little puppet on your finger. They don't have their own integrity, okay? Be a structure with its own integrity. Have your own integrity, have your own mission. Work on your personal development. If you don't have your own mission, just work on becoming the best you every single day. Work on self-care. Exercise, go get a tan, do whatever. Just work on yourself. If you start to work on yourself, people are going to get attracted to you. Okay, if you have your own mission, your own vision, you're going to attract friends, you're going to attract people because they're going to be like, wow, this person's way of thinking is so different. And that's, I talked to my wife, she was like, well, I got attracted to you because you're different from others. You weren't just following the traditional path. You did stuff like meditating and yoga. I was like, wow, this guy's interesting. And we would even meditate together when we were dating. And she thought it was weird. Even though she thought it was weird, she just admired my passion about it. Right? So follow your own path. The solution to this, if you can't get your specific partner, focus on yourself. That's the greatest thing you can do. Focus on self. Follow own path. That's how you become attractive. Attractiveness isn't looking good. Attractiveness isn't wearing nice clothes, because it's all about the underlying motive behind it. If your underlying motive behind looking good is, I want to impress others, Then again, you go to dependent relationships. I'm doing this to impress someone else. Not, I'm doing this because I want to feel the best me. I'm doing this because this is what the 2.0 is. This is just who I am. Right? Make it independent. Make your actions independent of anything. Just dependent on yourself. Again, all of these concepts are linked together, by the way. Excessive potential is created because you're in dependent relationships. When something is dependent on something else, you put importance on that other thing. And therefore, you create this imbalance in nature. When something is dependent on itself, you don't create excess potential. If you becoming your best self is just dependent on yourself, not to impress others, not to get this and not to get that, it's just, you're not building excessive potential because you're not putting too much importance on it. Okay? There's no pressure drop. The pressure drop can't be in relation to itself. This is kind of complex, but I just want you to understand these three concepts. If you do, I promise you, it won't even matter what your specific person is. You're going to attract people all directions. Okay? And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope this was helpful. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of this. If you want me to make more videos like this. I don't make videos on specific partners. I don't make videos on attracting a person because that's not what my focus is on this channel. But if it helps you guys, I will make them. Okay? Let's do a quick recap about what we talked about. So today we talked about attracting a specific partner, why you're unable to do it, and the 3 problems and the 3 corresponding solutions to that. Number 1, we talked about excessive potential and how it creates an imbalance in nature via these bunched up lines, okay? And when you do that, when you put a person on a pedestal, they have no choice but to look down. And also nature takes the path of least resistance. If there are 2 paths, A and B, A takes 2 units of energy, B takes 4 units of energy. Which one do you think nature's going to take? It's always going to take the easiest path, which is taking a specific person and repelling them further and further away, right? That's that. The solution to this is remove this person from the pedestal by the very realization that, wait a second, this person isn't that special. This person is actually a normal human being. Number 2, dependent relationships. Your actions become dependent on either impressing this person or trying to do something so you get this person's attention. It's not organically just to give. You give in order to receive. Okay, and because of that, you just create all sorts of problems and create more excessive potential. The solution to this is investigate your feelings of incompleteness before approaching a new relationship, before approaching a person. Investigate what place you're at right now. If you're at a toxic place, the relationship is going to take a toxic turn until some change happens within you, until you start to realize, wait a second, why am I incomplete? Why do I feel this void? Am I willing to let it go? Am I willing to stop holding on to it? Number 3, this applies to every single aspect of attracting anyone, anything, any goal in your life. You achieve your goals not because you follow someone else. You achieve your goals because you pursue your own path. This is what the concept of attractiveness is. It's focusing and doubling down on yourself. It's focusing on your mission. It's focusing on your vision, as opposed to caving in and listening to someone else's idea of what your life should be like. Your parents, your society, your environment. It's not that they don't want what's best for you. It's just they tell you what they think is best for you. It's their idea of what they think is best for you. They want you to live by their standards, not by your standards. You've got to live by your own standards. Okay? And if you just go your own path in life, you're just going to get something magnetic, because people are going to be like, wait, this person's interesting. This person has his own world. People just want to come into, have a relationship with you because they want to experience your world. Imagine this completely needy person who's like a parasite, who doesn't have their own world, just agrees with everything you say. The most unattractive person ever, right? So have integrity and focus on yourself. The least you can do is your self-development, your personal development. Just focus on becoming a better you every single day. And with that, conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. Sincerely hope this was helpful. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. Also, super excited to announce the free one-to-one consult for the Reality Mastery Program is open. So click on the link in the description below to sign up. This consult isn't for everyone. It's only for those who are entrepreneurs looking to take their businesses to the next level, looking to take their lives, their personal lives to the next level by shifting their identities. Okay, what I've seen is that people can't scale their businesses not because it's fear, not because it's what's going on around in the environment, but it's actually because of themselves. Their personal problems are relating out into their business. Their business is a reflection of themselves. They're messy, they procrastinate, they have these fears, and they all reflect out into the business and prevent them from hitting those revenue levels they want to hit. If that sounds like you want to take it to the next level, work closely together. Click on the link to schedule a call with us to see if we can help you. And also the free Facebook group is open for you to take advantage of. The link for that is also in the descriptions. We don't let in just anyone. Please fill in the 3-question survey so we can see if you're a good fit for the group, and we'll approve you then. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Peace.